Hold
All
up.
right, we in this
Hold
bitch.
up. We them boys.
All right, all
Hold
right.
up.
This is number
Hold up.
4. This is like take 4, number
Hold up.
6 or
Hold
whatever.
up. We them boys. Mike used
Take
to be a
4, number
lover with
6.
Khalifa.
Redoing this thing. Yeah. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. All right. What's good?
It's like me and my girlfriend now. You know,
Black and
that's
yellow?
a bad joke.
That's fucked up.
See, nobody will
Listen,
ever remember that comment.
let me tell this story. No, you can't see my face. I've heard the camera wasn't on me. I did that on purpose. I just showed my gun. All right, so listen to this. Let me tell you a story. So, all day today. Okay, so the people below me have complained about the noise which is made in my apartment. Okay. And I don't understand. I'm not a loud person. Whatever. Okay? So today, they were screaming, slamming doors. Go to your room. Don't put your hands on me. My motherfucking name. Don't put your fucking hands on me. Fuck you. Go to the room. Don't stay in the room. Pow, pow, pow. Slamming doors and everything. My dog. Okay, this is for 2 hours. This is happening. I'm like, I might call the police. You know, I got my guns out. I got ready just in case some shit was going down. Okay. So then my dog goes kind of crazy. She gets like real excited. They fucking banging on the ceiling down there. I was like, oh hell no! I stomped the fuck out of the ground. I was like, bah, 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 like stomping the fuck out of it. I was like, you had the fucking nerve all day to scream, argue, slam doors, yelling at each other all day, and then
Yelling at the mic.
my dog. I know I'm proud. Am I?
All right.
No, I'm talking about.
They
I'm talking
might
about
be dumb
them.
enough to think that sound only go
One
down
direction?
but not up.
Okay.
How about
true.
this? How? Okay, so how did you know, or how did they first or initially notify you that you were, creating a noise?
She came to my door twice.
So they knock on the door like, "Hey, can you
Yeah.
keep it down?"
Yeah.
Like that, or like was it like
Correct.
straightforward, passive aggressively?
Did she yell? Did she look mad?
No.
Was she nice?
They were nice. They were fine. Like I was like, oh my bad. Like the first time I think I had my subwoofer on, and it was like during the day, and she's got a kid. Cool, whatever. Like, and I was like, fine. And then I stuffed I didn't know how to make it quieter, so I stuffed a bunch of like clothes or something inside the hole, and now it don't bang. So it's cool.
What are you watching? Like Christopher Nolan movies on like fucking theater mode or something?
No. The sub just picks up anything. Like you could just watch cartoons, and it's like. All right. So, anyways, but now it doesn't make any noise because I stuffed
what
it.
cartoon that was?
Oh, cartoon. No, I'm giving an example. Okay.
Know,
So,
man,
anyways,
you gotta be accurate with your cartoons.
They came up twice. Anyways, these people, whatever. So, but my dog loses it for literally 20 seconds, and they're gonna bang on the floor. I had to listen to you guys scream at each other all fucking day. So I took my gun out. I loaded it, and I sat by the door. I was like, let these people come knock on my door. I'm going to answer it in my underwear with a gun in it.
With the gun? The redneck noise complaint.
Hell yeah. I'm going to be like, I'm not going to put a gun on the camera. You're right.
No, don't do that. Right. That'll get us cut for sure.
Yeah.
You want something?
Honestly.
Yeah, it's coming up here faster than a coyote in the nighttime. Come on,
I'm gonna be like, I had to listen to you all. I'm not trying to get in your business, but I had to listen to you all scream for 2 fucking hours.
I'd say this. I'd take the high road and approach them and say, I leave a note instead of seeing them face to face, just to see how respectful they are. So my note would say, hey guys, you can't. Although I don't believe you can completely control when you have an angry outburst and a domestic dispute. However, I can control when I use my subwoofer. So between 2 to 6, when I think everybody is gone because I work from home, I will be at liberty to play this almost as loud as I want. But after that, I'll keep it down. If that sounds cool, I don't expect a reply. If not, meet me at my door. I'll be wearing my underwear and I'll have a gun loaded and I'll be ready to talk.
Or you write him a note and you say,
and with a picture
I'm
of me
about
with
to be a counselor, so if you guys need relationship
Oh
counseling,
yeah, you could put that in
here's
there.
my
Like
number. We can do
yeah.
a telehealth conference, whatever.
from
A little
upstairs to
a little
Yeah.
ball tap. A little ball tap is always good at the end of it, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a picture. I'm just gonna put a picture on their door of me with my guns.
That seems like that won't be the right thing to do.
Listen, I'm gonna be like, I'm crazy, I'm white, and I got guns. You gonna fuck with me?
You don't even qualify yourself as white.
I don't, but they don't know the difference.
He's not white, but he could pass. He's like a Mexican who
he's like
I
can be who I want when I want. Yeah.
He's a
racially ambiguous.
Middle Eastern, Italian, Hispanic.
It depends how he does his hair too.
From Montana.
This podcast was originally going to be called the racially ambiguous duo.
Yeah.
But when there was only two of you.
Yeah. Then we needed women. We needed women to keep us balanced.
You realized it wasn't going to work out. We all knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. That's not why.
And what you sipping on over there?
I don't know.
Is that
This is
whiskey?
tea.
Tea? What kind of tea is that? Sweet tea?
Lemon ginger tea.
Lemon ginger. Where you get your tea from?
The grocery store.
I'm thinking specifically.
It's not special tea. It's like
tea. Tea is. I think all
special
coffees and teas are special in some way. You know.
Well, this one looked cool, and I bought it, and it tastes pretty good. So I keep drinking it. You know.
There you go.
It's kind of strong. The ginger kind of kicks it. You know.
Uh-oh. Not a lot of people are fond of ginger. I think it's because we don't.
I don't like ginger plain, but like things.
Like nobody should eat plain ginger.
People do when they eat sushi. They eat those little chunks in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they love that.
But that's
I do.
Like
leave that where it came from.
Palate. Does it clear your palate for the next?
Really?
So you eat it in between. Yeah.
I just look at it and then close it up in the box.
She like, put that and that green stuff, that's spicy.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
Hey, can your kids be president?
Yeah, they have U.S. passports. They don't have to. They have U.S. So foreign-born American. So technically, because I'm not a citizen of the place in which they were born, I have an established residency there. Then they are protected and could be president under that act, under that constituent, I guess. Yeah.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Obama. Hey, speaking of politics, I pay more in motherfucking taxes in a month than Trump paid in 2 years, apparently.
We knew that.
Deducted that. Come on, man. Listen to me. People, first of all, you know what's not? Nobody's shocked. Nobody's shocked.
As Chris Rock said, don't hate the player, hate the game.
No, he said, I'm Chris Rock, one of the world's most renowned comedians. Jay-Z, the world's greatest rapper, lives across the street. Mary J. Blige, one of the world's greatest R&B
One of the greatest to ever do it.
And there's Doug, a dentist.
You know what my neighbor does? My neighbor, he's a fucking dentist.
Yeah.
He ain't the best dentist in the world. He ain't the best. You know what a black dentist had to do to live in my neighborhood? He'd have had to invent teeth.
True shit, man. That's why I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised when I hear these things.
I keep a bag packed at my door. You know what I had to do to get this house? I had to host the Oscars to get this house. He said, I still don't believe it.
Yeah. He said, he wake up here and see pictures of himself. He like, do I live it?
It's crazy. I'm trying to live that life one day.
Man, nobody is shocked or surprised. I mean, you know, I can separate the situation as in like, I'm not surprised that Trump didn't pay taxes. I'm surprised that he paid $1 at all, you know? True. I'm not surprised at all that it was significantly lower than, you know, a normal, you know, working class American. Like, what did you think? Why do you support him? And also, what's people don't realize is like taxes is what keeps you poor. The more money you can shield away in tax deductions and benefits, the more money you keep in your pocket. You know, say if you made 100,000 a year, but you were only taxed on 50,000. You know, still 20 or 30% or whatever, but you were taxed on that. You save a lot of money.
Yup.
Yeah. Anyway.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right, check this out. You know what? Speaking of politics, you know what I learned today, Anton? Do you know who Cory Booker is?
Yeah, I know my man, Senator Cory Booker, for sure.
Okay. I don't mind, like, either way, however anybody feels about Cory Booker.
Yeah.
Do you know who his wife is?
No.
Do you know the name Rosario Dawson?
Yeah, that's his wife?
That's the motherfucker's wife.
No way. I guess I never looked past I was so engulfed in the person he is, but I never looked at his significant other.
Listen, you don't think Donald Trump got elected in part because of Melania? If Cory Booker he's like, hey, this is me, this is my wife.
Oh,
this
I
is
know.
Me,
yeah.
This is my wife. Come on.
I had no idea that they were married. Yeah, she is
on.
drop dead gorgeous.
Come on.
Drop dead gorgeous.
You know how many more votes he would have got if he just brought her on TV every time he went? Hi, I'm Cory Booker.
You think about this. Jay-Z and Beyonce. You think how many deals Jay-Z closes because Beyonce's in the room with him?
True.
You know? True. How intimidating that woman could probably potentially be for many men.
Hey, my wife is Beyonce, bitch.
They'd be like, oh, we're going to have to pay $50 million more. He done brought the beehive. Queen Bee.
How's my sound coming through?
You're good.
My sound.
Check.
It's a little,
is it loud?
No, you were a little quiet for a minute. You were like,
yeah, it went down.
I don't know what you're doing. But you might have been backing it up or something.
Back it
up.
Let me know.
Nah, stop. Oh, and wiggle with it. Yeah. Tell you. That song come on in the club. 3, 6, 9. And then I'm dropping I'm like, I'm moving. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about this. Conversation's over. I gotta get to the dance floor.
They don't even play that at the white weddings I've been to lately. Man, I've been to the last few weddings.
They play the Cupid Shuffle. I'm sure white people love the Cupid Shuffle.
Yeah, they do.
They love anything with instructions.
The Cupid Shuffle.
They'd be like, to your right, to your right, to your right, to your right. Give you time, do you
One of these weddings I went to, I was at a wedding, and they were playing like music that I would listen to, and they're like, all right, we're done with this shit. Let's play the white shit. And I was like, bitch, I know this dance too. I know this thing. And I stayed on the dance floor. I was playing. They're like, you can't get rid of me.
Yeah, I haven't been to many weddings. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm at that age where people around me should be getting married, but I don't keep people around me, so that probably is the problem.
I hear that. People are like, dang, who could we invite to this wedding that would just make it better? They're like, Mike, call Mike. Call Mike.
That's not why you get invited.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I don't have a network of people that where I'm like, I care about their happiness and sadness as they attempt to procreate.
They're like, don't invite Anton here. He's gonna talk about politics.
don't bring me in, right? I make it uncomfortable to be at my table.
And dog shit. He's talking about dog shit.
I'm like, you clean up your dog shit? And I'm just refusing to sit next to that guy. Can you switch places with him?
I love that.
Seriously, man. I would like to attend some weddings, but none of my friends are getting married, man. None of my friends are getting married.
What is Sean? Is Sean in a relationship? Wasn't he married in Canada for a minute?
He was married in Canada? He's in a relationship somewhat.
He married her to bring her over the border or something?
No.
The opposite, I think.
I believe he's dating.
Oh, he married so he could get to the other side?
What you mean? I think.
Oh my gosh. I think
he really
Reed
got
would
married
be the person. No, not at all. I think Reed would be the next person to get married out of my friends.
Is Reed with somebody?
Yeah, he had a girlfriend for about 2 years. They're pretty serious. Wow. I mean, yeah. You know, you get to that fork in the road, right? In your relationship of like seriousness, right? There are certain things that let you know that like, look, it's no point of even continuing a day further because 100 days out is going to be the exact same. And so, you know,
or
it could be
worse.
that, it could be like, you know, moving in together or something determines that, like, oh, you don't want to move in with me and we've been dating for X amount of time. Okay, I see
Yeah.
this is going nowhere. Or you get the, I think you get like the 7 year person where they're like in a relationship for like 7 years and they're like, when is he gonna propose to you? And it's like, but I also think we're coming to this age where we're coming back to a time where it's like, what is the need or why is it necessary to be married?
True.
What benefit does it bring you other than like a joint tax thing that like, okay,
here you go again, politics.
taxes, right? No, but seriously, what's the point of being married in a modern day? What's the point of having more than 2 children? You don't have a farm, you don't have a business that you're doing child labor and such. There's no need necessarily. Like, to what benefit? Listen, you know what would be beneficial if I was married? If I'm that chick who got Drake's baby. That's when it's very beneficial. And look, she get more money not being married to her, you know, $50,000 a month.
I talked to one of my the kids that I coach. She's in college now, and she said she keeps telling me, like, she keeps texting me the wrong stuff, like, coach, college is boring, or I'm bored, and I'm like, okay, go
smoke crack.
Like, go have a bunch of fun, you know, have your grades drop out of school.
He's the wrong person to text. That's all we know. I would never text you something like that.
Gain weight.
You'd be like, yeah, you go fuck up your life. Okay, thank you.
Mike is a reality check. I text Mike when I want to fuck up my life. And then he'd be like, you know what? You're right. Right,
and then you'd be mad that you asked him and he gave you that answer.
I like people who set it straight.
But I was just like, what do you expect? I said, you know what I did my freshman year? I played video games and I went trick-or-treating on Halloween. Like, that's what I did. Like, you know, you got to make sacrifices if you're trying to do something great.
Yeah. No, I had like 2 jobs. I was president of organizations. I was an RA, student athlete. Like,
but this is what
you
I told
were
her.
RA as a freshman? No, you weren't.
No, my sophomore year.
Oh, see, you jumping ahead.
Yeah.
This is what I told her, though. I said, you know what? I said, you're good looking. You know, you could just marry someone who's got money. Like, you know.
You didn't say that.
I definitely said that.
No.
Oh my God.
You gotta say that shit on the phone, not in the text. You gotta
yeah, you definitely didn't talk that.
What for what? Like, what are you gonna do? Stop talking to me because I told you that you could jokingly you could marry
sarcasm.
rich?
People take sarcasm to heart. You say some sarcasm on the internet, they will boil you alive these days, man.
Oh, I was thinking about this, and when I'm gonna think, okay, this is what's funny is this is so fucking funny. I was thinking about how, you know, I'm gonna start comedies soon. I keep saying that, but whenever like things start opening up, right? Well, I don't know what's open at this point, you know, like.
You know what's open? Reddit. You can do a live broadcast today.
Okay, I'm not doing. I want to be on a stage. That's my thing.
You need feedback.
Yeah. No, they give you
instantly.
Feedback. Look, if you want your self-esteem destroyed, you know, make a comment on Reddit. Post something on Reddit. They'll torture you.
I'm not trying to ruin my self-esteem because I'm also active. I'm active. The kind of comedian I'm gonna be like moving around a lot. I'm gonna be acting, you know, I'm gonna be falling out like
Yeah, he needs to be able to move through the stage to make the effects.
You should watch some comedians like on mute.
What are you saying?
On mute.
Yeah.
Like Aziz Ansari is pretty active. I think that Richard Pryor was pretty active.
Listen,
Eddie Murphy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I need to. I've got like pages and pages and pages of material. I need to start working it out and just like finding somewhere and just working it out and just seeing what's funny and what people laugh at. But the thing is, and actually Hannah's family helped me with this. I realized that some of the things that I say, I think are funny, are not necessarily funny. But then what is actually funny that I've noticed that people laughed, especially like her type of people, were like things that I acted out, you know?
Okay.
Like I imagine.
It's like how you got there, in a way.
What I mean is like, for instance, just to give you a for instance, like my boss at the time, who they also knew, so that might play a factor. But anyways, they knew he kept trying to, like, he's like a manly man, you know, he's like, give me that, let me show you how to do this kind of a person, you know. He'll be like, you need to cut this in bigger pieces. Look at how long it's taking you. I'm not paying you to take this long. He's like, give me this. Falls, boom, hits him in the head, and he's like, I thought that could happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like watching this dude. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm absolutely not doing that. Like, no.
Yeah.
And then he was like, pick it up and throw it. He's like, look how long you're taking. He picks it up. This is within the same 5 to 10 minute span. He picks up this big piece and he throws it and it tears his shirt. And so he's walking around the rest of his day. He's got a torn shirt all the way through because he's trying to tell me how to do this stuff. I'm like, dude, like, just let me work. Like, and so anyways, me acting that out, they were laughing like hard at me, like acting it out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he was feeling good about it. He's like, oh yeah, getting a lot out of this one.
Yeah, you can take a normal story and make it a commentary, like a picture commentary. Yeah, sure, like I see that.
Enid and I really like this comedian. What's his name? The
Ryan
Italian
Regan?
Guy? No. Yes, but the Italian guy.
Oh, Sebastian.
Sebastian Maniscalco. Yeah. And when I saw him, I was like, oh, that's the kind of comedian I can be. Because everything he does is like over the top and exaggerated. He's like, I went into Home Depot. Everybody's measuring. Like, and he's like, you know, he's like acting out these exaggerated things that
he got the pencil behind their ear. In the right.
So, right. But it wasn't until I watched someone like him that I was like, oh, like, I don't have to be like I could be me and do whatever I could do best and then be my own type of comedian. If I started comedy a long time ago, I would have tried to be somebody different, you know, not myself.
So what resources are you using other than just watching people? Like, is it something where you're like looking at the structure of jokes from like a formal perspective or?
Okay. Yeah. That's what I don't know about. So for instance,
because there's very limited information out there. It's something on the internet, but. True.
And so, yeah, what's funny is funny, what's not is definitely not. And so like punchlines and things like that, like I've thought about in some cases, but mostly what I've noticed is that I'll say something fun. This is what I do terribly. This is what I'm going to be the worst at. Yeah. I'll say something that might actually be funny. It might actually be funny. I think it's funny. You might think it's funny. But the fact that I laugh hysterically right after I say it is not fucking funny.
You got to wait.
Oh, you do that a lot.
Oh yeah, my gosh.
You could. It's okay though. Yeah. You learn.
But there are some comedians that do laugh at some jokes, and it's funny that they laugh at it. So,
but it's like
you got to get the flow down.
Yeah, I think that's a part of like being able to not laugh at the joke.
Or some of them, they don't laugh at all, and then it's funny because they just be straight up saying shit that's funny as hell.
So some people are like, that's deadpan, where they don't laugh. Like Steve Carell doesn't laugh.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At his own joke. Zach Galifianakis, Between Two Ferns. It's freaking awesome. Who's another person who doesn't laugh at his own jokes? Pretty often. Most people, I think, are in the middle though. Like Dave Chappelle's rarely, but he does. Like it just sometimes it gets him.
Oh, Dave Chappelle, you can't even. You know, okay, so for
Kevin
instance,
Hart laughs at every joke he does because he's not funny.
Sure. Kevin Hart is funny as fuck. Okay, so listen to this. Funny. He is funny. All right, check this out though. All right, here's what Dave Chappelle's like. This is a good analogy. I had a kid on my team. I was coaching. I coached him for a little bit, whatever. But the fact is, I don't know if I want to say his name, just not to put him out there.
No.
First name.
But he was a 8-time All-American. Anyways, Hannah knows what I'm talking about.
All right.
But the way he moved, you can never compare another athlete to that person.
Oh, you know he was that good? He was good?
Oh,
what event?
He went 20.8 in the 200 or 20.89, I think.
Ooh. 89, yeah.
But he's a 400 runner, but he just hasn't been brave enough to take that next step and put in that training. And, you know, part of where we were, it was like, get the most out of the kid, you know, instead of break, you know, what the 400 would do to a sprinter, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he split 46, but I think this kid can go 44. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, but the way he moves, he just floats. He just floats, and when you look at him, you're like, he don't look like he's trying hard, and he's just
like David Rudisha.
He's like David Rudisha, just like
beautiful technique, right?
Yeah. And he just and like people next to him are like, and he's just like.
Don't you always see that in like college races? Like more than anything, like high school for sure. Even in the NCAAs, like in the championship meets, you're like, this guy got here from just all grit, like just like everybody, like this dude is powerful. Somebody could package that and like stretch it and make it graceful.
Yeah, true.
It's just like raw speed. I think that of Fred Curley.
True.
He's just raw, and like he's not a tactical runner. If you look at like Donovan Brazier, for example, when he was at Texas, and then you look at him now.
Texas what?
A&M was A&T. Fucking whatever school.
You don't know. He doesn't know where he
came from. A&T, the one with it's a T, and then he got more, and then he ran against the Canadian boy, and then it was another 800 runner who wasn't whatever. But Donovan Brazier used to run like a, like that, and he was fast, and now he's like. You can see him thinking when he runs. You know what I mean? Because you have a long time in the 800 to react. And I've seen like his last like 10 races, he's tried every tactic in the 800. Like the man is training for the world record. I shit you not, he's training for the world record. There's nothing else.
He's trying to make that money.
Of course. And as he should. But the way, like he's done the like Nick Simmons sit in the back and kick everybody's down. He's done the Dwayne Solomon go out, Johnny Gray.
When?
Different races.
Oh, different races or different points in his career?
Different. The past 10 races, he's picked a different race tactic.
Approach. Sure.
Pole position, just wait, sit and kick on the guy the last 100. All these things, and it's like that guy is amazing to watch.
Depends on what the money is too. If you're just trying to win for like just points in the diamond circuit or whatever.
Yeah, it's like $50K for a first place, no problem. 50K plus another 100K for American record.
If you break a time, exactly.
I'm gonna drop this down. Meet record, okay, yeah, like exactly. He's doing it good, enjoying his life, young, and it's hard. It's difficult. Like his dad was a good runner, obviously, and it's difficult.
Really?
Like get it that.
Yeah, fast. I don't know anything about his dad. What does dad do?
Yeah, his dad ran 8.
Really?
I think he was pretty good at it actually.
What's his first name? Something Brazier?
I'm gonna look him up because we got the ability to do that.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, my point was simply just to kind of close it out. I don't know if I ever finished it. But the fact is that when it comes to comedy, it's like when it comes to anything, you can't look at the best to ever do it and the most talented people and then somehow try to emulate or try to emulate them. Yeah. Because they have something special. That doesn't mean you can't be great, but you can't be like them, Yeah.
No, it's hard. I mean, like, there's nobody who's ever told comedy, like, outside of Eddie Murphy, like Richard Pryor is like, you know what I mean? Outside of that, there's I think those are the two, those men. And then what's the other guy? No. Even before Chappelle. There are a couple people and I love Dave Chappelle, but there's just because they came before him. If you're allowed to see somebody else do it, you get an opportunity to pick out their flaws.
Oh, Patrice O'Neal.
Patrice O'Neal, hands down, one of the top best like commentary comedians. Just commentary alone. So Dave Chappelle's a commentary comedian. Patrice O'Neal, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. I'm thinking of a name and it leaves me right now. His joke on the 10 Commandments was George Carlin.
Oh, George Carlin. Yeah.
George Carlin. I would say that. Now, nobody in a different category, because you can't, it's like, who's the greatest rapper of all time? It's like, well, that kind of depends because there are so many genres within that genre. There are so many subtypes of comedy within that. If you go on like sales, it's Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's the richest comedian, like he made more money than Pryor, obviously, having a longer career and such.
He's also an actor. I mean, obviously,
yeah,
stuff,
like
but still, the best to ever do it.
Pryor make movies and probably say, you know what, I want to make movies too. But another type of comedian who's I don't think has ever stepped in that sphere is Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg is
good. Listen, Mitch Hedberg is number one.
Yeah.
In his type of punchline comedian, just lines. It's just lines, you know. He's I love escalators because even when they don't work, they work. They just become stairs. You're never out of order.
Yeah, he just had the best one-liners.
It's like all these. It's crazy though. He predicted his death. He said, "I want to get really famous and just die overdose."
Oh no, that's crazy,
man. Yeah, he's hilarious. What did he say? Man, he said rice is really good when you want 1,000 of something to eat or something like. Just like these stupid like liners, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Mitch Hedberg, oh my God. And it's like you've never seen anybody else try to step in. Now, obviously there are some people, there has to be somebody else out there.
To do it like him? I don't know.
No, but I mean, he's number one in his area, his genre of comedy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't know.
You know what I mean? I would say Robin Williams would be somebody in that area.
Oh, Robin Williams
and Mitch Hedberg, they're very similar related because Robin Williams is just punch, 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 boom, 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 like really quick. You know? He wasn't a long
Robin
story.
Williams, he would steal stuff though. Robin Williams would steal stuff. He would. He wasn't his original. True. Okay, so Robin Williams had this one joke. He was talking about, oh God, I'm gonna butcher it. He was talking about how raccoons were getting into recycling, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And he's like, "Go crazy. Where the fuck is the garbage?" Or whatever. Oh, I was dying.
Yeah. No, I remember that one. That was a good joke. Oh, I think in comedy, I think it's your joke if you tell it better. There's no joke. Look, I have this notion of like, I call it my cookbook theory. When I want to do something and I think, oh man, I'm just copying off this person. I was like, yeah. And then go to Amazon and you type in the word cookbook and you're going to see 500,000 damn cookbooks. And you'd be like, you know, Italian food. And like, you're going to see 100,000 of them. And it's like, okay, have all of them talked about pasta before? Yes.
True.
Is this another article about pasta? It's like, yes. Does it help somebody who is just getting into cooking? Yes. All right, then write the fucking article.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because I'm writing that book about the coaching lessons book, and one of the people I had read it that might do some editing for me, they were like, a lot of it, some of this is cliche, and I've heard it before, and I said, yeah, I know, I get that, but you know, I just feel like everything's been said, period. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not making new stuff up, you know, necessarily.
I didn't invent running.
Right.
Right. I didn't invent odd numbers. So, but I think obviously there are probably ways that you can make it less cliche, but you can't say something. You can say something different that's already been done, but then there's a point where you're stretching, you know, where you're trying to stretch it and make it your truth. You know, you can add to. I think when you add to something, it should be said again and again because it becomes your thesis. Like right now, I'm working on this concept that I did a while ago, and I haven't even done anything. I just wrote a note about it, and then I left it, and then I kept expanding on it. So with training, there are 5 phases of training, and any kind of training that you do, right? So I'm talking specifically strength training. You know, you have different phase 1, phase 2, just anatomical adaptation. You know, hypertrophy 1, hypertrophy 2, maximum strength 1, 2. Conversion of power, and then whatever, right? And then I said, well, before the anatomical adaptation period, what if somebody is completely untrained or detrained? Meaning that anatomical adaptation prepares your body to train, right? So you're getting ready to run, right? So it's like, instead of putting a specific workout out, it's like, go get a feel for running consistently, right? So 3 times a week, 20 minutes if your mom has never run before, right? But I think even in that sense, that would, you take somebody who's 60 years old or 50 or 40 or who's never trained in their life, and you tell them to do a HIIT class or something like that, or you tell them to do something, they're not trained and ready for this. So there needs to be what I call phase 0 is like preconditioning, right? So you need to learn how to like stretch. You need to actually learn how to move. You know, you need to learn how to like hinge, right? So we're not doing exercises. We're learning movements on different planes of motion so that you're prepared for it. Because I thought to myself, it was like, again, I make fun of those kids that are like raw, you know, running at a meet, but like they're good. And I wasn't, because I didn't have the coordination and understanding, like spatial awareness of like running, you know, and to help myself and to help other people. Like, wow, this move is so simple, but you can't get down on the floor and get up without, like, you ever seen somebody who's like let's say overweight or older or weak get off of a floor? Like if you sat down on the floor, could how many people out of 10 could get up without using their hands? Get off the floor without using their hands.
Oh, how many people?
Yeah, how many people out of 10 could get up off the floor without using their hands, without touching your body?
I don't have a lot of faith in people.
Yeah, exactly. So most people are compensating for weaknesses that they haven't even addressed, that they continue to make a problem and weaken over time. Somebody with a limp, if they haven't gotten their Achilles, you know, sliced, or like had an accident, you know, a knee injury, or they're not, you know, one leg's taller than the other, if they're limping to compensate from a previous injury or back pain or hip pain, it's like you don't even understand how to move, and your brain is wired to compensate.
I used to say to my kids, I said, is that a limp walk or a swag walk? All right, we're back in it.
Yeah. So yeah, preconditioning, the phase of training before you train. It's like, you think of something, there are some preconditioning activities that'll be good if you keep the intensity quite low, and you know, you're trying to ramp up your frequency. So it's like, you take a 60-year-old woman who, I'm thinking of my client, 60-year-old woman who's had several injuries and never went to a gym in her life, right? Her question to me after like 2 training sessions, like, when do we lift weights? And I'm just like, lady, you can't do a split squat. Like, you can't get off the ground by yourself. Like, you can't squat on 2 feet. Like, you know, so we're doing very limited range of motion exercises, trying to improve her range of motion over time.
Here's what she means. She's like, just be like, hey, Fran, you need to, I know you want some pictures for your Instagram. So just hold the weight like this. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to take the picture. All right. Put it back on the rack.
No, it's what it is that it rolls
He's
into
not
my
here to help their Instagram. He's a trainer.
Like, what it is they see, no, he's right though. They see all that shit on the internet.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey,
she want to get fit fast.
This isn't fun. This isn't fancy. And this isn't complicated. I'm like, because we're training.
Yeah,
because we're training.
On Instagram.
Because we're training, right? Look, only shit you see on Instagram. Wow, I'm gonna try this workout today and hurt myself.
She's like, hey, you're like, hang on, Fran. Okay, bend over. I'll take the booty one of you squatting. Don't tell anyone I took this.
She hasn't ever been to a gym.
Yeah. But it's because people, like, they have this mindset of what working out is, right? And they don't realize, like, yeah, but you're not ready for that, you know?
Yeah, like I think my kids need preconditioning.
Yeah, even look, in phases, when you see somebody like burning out, it's 2 things you can do with somebody. Like, if they're trained, they need to like take some time off, but like not do nothing, because they're going to detrain fast. They need to change like the intensity and maybe a different form of exercise. So maybe we just start some hypertrophy training. We do a 2 to 3 week hypertrophy phase, right? And we change the volume. So like all your runs are going to be like 70% or lower intensity, you know, from 50 to 70%. We're still gaining some conditioning. We're not losing, but we're changing. So the body is adapted to this high stress, like, and you can't output, you can't get any more because you need a little bit of rest in a sense. But I think you can train every day. I think a 60-year-old person can train every day. You know, I have clients that are older and I have them training every day. Now, training every day doesn't mean like you about to hit it, we're going in, we maxing out, you know, our back's gonna be hurt tomorrow. It's like, no, today training is a 40-minute recumbent bike and a 10-minute stretch. You know, there's your hour.
Hannah,
right,
what's that 7-minute exercise? What's that thing? Come on.
What?
Hannah, come on.
Wait. 7 minutes.
They did it for 7 minutes. Those pressure plates or whatever.
Oh, okay. It wasn't even 7 minutes. It was like 1 minute. 1 minute.
Well, it's like somebody's on the power plate.
All right. It was like this gym, and they have like these machines, and they're just like really, they're super machines, and you get on them, and you just do this one movement, and you do it for 12 seconds, and then you do the next one for 12 seconds, and they pay a bunch of money to go to this gym. I interviewed to work at this place, and I was like, you know what? Probably not. Okay, so 12 it's like 12 seconds, 12 to 20 seconds or something. And they do this one, and then they get on the other one, and they do that. There's like 4 machines or 6. I think there's a warm-up machine, a cool-down machine, like 4 other machines. Anyway,
what do the machines do? Are they like electronic
it's supposed
stimulation?
to change your life. It puts like thousands of pounds of pressure, and they just like, I don't know. And it's supposed to like if you have like osteoporosis, you come here and you pay, and you come once a week, and you use
for
these things.
7 minutes. This
And
guy is a genius.
It's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be great, but these people are all paying a lot of money
for 7 minutes
a week.
Minutes.
I've heard of gimmicks like this.
And it's called Osteo Strong.
That's what was the place in Hong Kong where they do the vibration training? What was the name of the gym? Body Express, right?
It's something like that, yeah.
Body what? No, Body Express, where they wear the white pants. It's this place. Mike,
they don't have to wear white pants at this place, but I see where you're going.
Body Express, right? And women would go there, and it would be like a spa with this one electronic machine. It's, you know, when you get ice and stim, that's what so it's an electronic stimulation machine, and it's like, we can get you 3,000 what do you call it? Contractions. We can contract your muscle 3,000 in an hour doing a dumbbell. You can contract your muscle.
Tony Little, the guy that does this thing.
Yeah. Listen, dude, Cristiano Ronaldo and Usain Bolt were like sponsors for this, dude.
Oh, because they're paying money.
They were using their face and getting like 20 million, whatever. Anyway, so if you go in the gym and you pick up a dumbbell, you could probably do it, even if it was like 1 pound, you could probably do like 400 reps in an hour, right? So they're saying like, we can do 4,000 contractions, because all you're doing is contracting your muscle when you lift weights, right? You're lengthening it and shortening it. And they're saying, don't do that. We'll do it for you 10 times the amount that you can do in like 10 minutes. You know, so they stand on this like, and then like, boom, sculpting your body to the max. It's like, wow.
It's like the shake weight.
Yes, but that's
it's a full body shake weight.
That's that Rodeo Drive Kardashian shit that like people buy into. It's like, you're gonna take the fat out of your stomach and put it in your ass, and you ain't never got to squat. Don't worry about the gym. Just get the angles and the lightings right, girl. Don't show your ankles. Don't show your ankles, all right?
That's so funny.
All right?
They also
cover the scar.
You can't show, some people don't show their feet on social media. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Anna, put your feet on this podcast so we can get some views.
You can't
put
show
your
them?
feet
Like,
on. Put your foot up.
Is it like a nipple on like Instagram? You can't show a nipple. You could be a porn star almost as far as like you want. You just can't show nipples and can't have sex on Instagram.
People, you just cannot show nipples. Yeah, I got
or
a friend who's like a nude
menstrual
model.
cycle. Yeah.
Menstrual cycle.
Yeah, it was a woman who did an experiment where she was fully clothed. She wore like a sweatsuit, and then it would just be like a stain of blood on her pants. And they were like, "This is inappropriate. It doesn't meet our policy of nudity." And then she found the loophole in the early years of Instagram, and she was like, "Wow, so I can be on here butt naked in a bikini, but if there's some blood on my pants from my menstrual cycle, which is a natural biological function."
Sure.
Maybe it leaked out. That's offensive. That violates the policy. And she had a point there. I mean, Instagram is a marketing behemoth, all right? And it's supposed to be for damn near porn. I mean, what is Snapchat? Snapchat is kiddie porn. It's like, you want to not get in trouble for some kitty porn that you think doesn't go
Kitty
away?
porn.
Like, go ahead. Like, TikTok is what?
Okay, I never mentioned, kitty porn. Listen, I don't have Snapchat anymore, so
Right?
I had to get rid of that shit. I had to get rid of all social media. Now with this
Epstein
account,
probably
I got
deleted it too.
Okay, so listen, I was gonna tell you about canceling, and then I don't know what we started talking about. I was thinking about the shit we used to say when the internet first came out, and when you were first able to play online on video games, and we had a headset. The shit! If everybody who played video games would be canceled.
Yeah. All the first off, if you ever found out you playing against somebody white, white people is like, you don't know where I'm at. So you know the one word that I don't already own, I'ma use it.
Oh yeah.
You're like, wow. Waited till Tommy was all in Buffalo, New York, and I'm over here in Chicago.
I used to be like, you motherfucker, your mom's a fucking whore. I'll fucking tear your fucking head off, you motherfucking man.
You were one of those kids threatening people. Like, I used to be like, wait.
You didn't get kicked out of your house for that?
No, nobody. I lived alone pretty much.
See, the thing with me is, he was a latchkey kid, is what he means. His mom be like, when you get home, take off your school clothes. Take off your school clothes. I don't want to get them dirty. And then call me. And then lock the door and don't answer the phone. That's how my mom went down. We were home alone. But look, I
was definitely home alone. My dad had 2 jobs. My dad was working. He would like nap on his, he was working 2 jobs, and he would like nap on his breaks. And
he's like, I'm here, but don't bother me.
No, he wasn't there.
He's like, I keep the lights on. Don't come in my nap room.
My dad would be like, car?
No, I don't know where he would nap, but he worked 2 jobs. He was working 16-hour days at 2 different places. Plus, he had to travel.
Nap at like an hourly hotel.
You had to make dinner, breakfast, and lunch for everybody.
Mike was waking up like Macaulay Culkin. Hello?
I know.
It was just me. My dad would. This is. I tell this story because
he's like, Renata, I'm in your room. You better come down me.
He didn't live with Renata. Renata was around too.
Yeah, my sister lived with my mom. And I lived with my dad. All right. So my dad would be like this. He'd be like, "Hey, you see this hole I kicked in the wall? You're gonna fix that fucking hole before I get home." I'm like, Dad, I don't know how to fix the hole in the. I didn't ask you if you know how to fix the wall. I said, fix the wall before I get home. There's shit in the garage. Leaves. And I'm like, fuck, this is before YouTube. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm having to read stuff.
You're looking at books, home improvement books.
Yeah, what book did you read to do that?
First, tape a mesh screen over the hole.
Fix a hole for dummies? Was that book real?
Fix a hole for dummies?
Seriously, what book did you read?
I don't remember.
I'm actually curious because I never had to fix a hole without YouTube.
Pretty thorough. Home improvement books and like carpentry.
Yeah,
but did they own those books? Was he at the library looking for the books? You know what I'm saying?
I assume his dad was pretty handy.
His dad was handy, but his dad left him with the.
Yeah, he's like, my son can read.
The goop.
That's half of it. He can read.
Listen.
Oh, you think he left him a book? I don't think he left him a book.
He left him some drywall putty.
Yeah, there was no book.
Like, what do you call the scraper?
Yeah, the little. What is that called? You love this thing.
Would you say a spatula?
Yeah, like a spatula. It's like.
Knife. They call it a knife.
Yeah, knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
drywall knife.
Yeah, they call it a drywall
knife.
Yeah. So listen, this is the thing that was how, and that's how my coach was too. Like, that's how I was brought up. That's how I was raised. That's how. And so when I did that,
a generation, of being independent.
Correct. It helped me be who I am. But when I use the same type of way with
younger generation,
right? They're like, he attacked me. He told me that if I don't figure out how to get my grades up, that bad things will happen.
Well, you gotta.
That's never happened, but.
Where these kids are coming from, like their parents have probably this is the first time a lot of them have spent more than an hour away from their home alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't travel alone before they're 21 or something like that, or 18. You know, think about this. Before you were 18, what's the furthest you've been away from your parents, like by yourself?
Who are you asking? His answer is going to be as
Hannah.
far as he could ride on the bike. And oh, mine.
Yeah.
Wait, before
Like,
18?
Yeah, she like the backyard.
I mean, I went on like a couple trips with my friends. So I guess that's it.
Yeah,
Like their
all right,
family, but that's it.
I'm saying like
normal
on a trip,
by myself.
prolonged trip, overnight without an adult. Or
I guess I don't know.
Gone for an entire evening without an adult knowing where you are.
Oh no, I always had to text them.
Or being home alone before the age it was legal for you to be at home alone. So
yeah,
like,
I wasn't really
you can't be at home
much,
before 13 or
homeschooled.
something. Oh yeah,
13?
Wow.
Is that the age?
I think 13 you could be at home alone or something like that.
Yeah, I always had an older sibling, so I wasn't really alone.
Yeah. See? Now Mike.
Yeah, he's different.
Same question.
He was on the bike, keep running away from home.
The first overnight. Right.
Overnight.
The first time he ran away.
18. You ran away? You a runaway kid?
He was on the bike.
Man,
He made as far as he could.
You a
No,
runaway
really
kid?
though.
All right, this is a fun fact in my family.
No,
I'm the only
needs
one
to
in my
answer.
family out of 4 of us that hasn't run away, but I've been kicked out. Everybody else ran away. I'm the only person who never ran away, but I've been kicked out of the house more
They're
than
like, run away, little bitch, run away.
That's funny.
Like I'm like, things are free here. I'm not going out on my own. Yeah.
I don't know, man. You know how old I am? For me to think about the childhood that I had and where I was, man.
So you were definitely a latchkey kid like myself. You were left to fend for yourself, prolonged periods without adult supervision, with the understanding that you were disciplined enough to not burn down the house and cook for yourself and not answer the door for strangers and, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And then, I mean, I think that's common with like single parents, like if you were with your dad and it was just you and your dad.
When I was like 11, 12, 13, like I think my mom would get sitters every now and then just in case if she was gone for extended periods of time, because I was just with my mom at that point. And so
you were a little reckless.
I had to babysit my sister a lot, and that's what ruined our relationship because my mom was like, I'm just trying to I don't know how she felt, but the fact was that she was just trying to like live her life. And I was like the age to watch a young kid and I would just want to play baseball,
Yeah. Yeah. My sister was like that. Like I learned a lot of my first things from my sister, like how to iron and like cook or do things. And it's because me and my sister, my older sister, she's like 3.5 years older than me, but we were always left alone,
My mom had my cousin babysit me once and she was gone or whatever. And me and my friend were there. And she taught my friend and I what a vagina was by folding a piece of pizza in half.
Oh, wow.
That'll ruin pizza for you, huh?
They're like some of the grease drips out and you're like, does that happen?
She said, this is what a vagina looks like.
They're like, is this saucy like this? Is it cheesy? Is cheesy vagina good or no? Because
she just folded it in half.
She's like, yeast infectious.
And then she stood there. That's it.
Yeah,
what'd you do?
Wait, how old?
Were you interested in that
you guys?
Pizza vagina or what?
7th grade, probably. 8th grade.
That's not a bad age, like
6th grade.
To learn about the pizza vagina.
I mean there's appropriate. There's no appropriate age to learn about pizza vagina. Okay, you could be 30 and learn about. You could be like, "What the hell are you trying to teach me? This is not, medically accurate." However, I remember when my uncle drew. Like, so all of my uncles are really good, like at drawing, like technical drawing. Like they draw like motorcycles, like to scale. You could scale it, like exactly the parts and stuff. And he drew a vagina when I was like 13,
And he was like, this is a vagina. It
like,
kind of looks like a pizza folded, but it's not.
It's a couple main parts.
What kind of pizza was it?
You got your labia. And I'm like, okay. He like, them the pussy lips. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Can I keep this?
It's a little
The
button at
drawing.
the top. A little button at the top right here. That's the one you want to focus on, but don't overstimulate it. That's the clitoris. I'm like, all right, okay.
I'm curious if I could call that cousin
Yeah,
and
Which
see
cousin
what
is
she
it?
remembers. That
Are you like? Do I know the cousin?
I can call
Oh,
my
I don't
mom.
think
don't
you should
think
say her
so.
name, but can you say a symbol or something? If
I
I know
don't
her.
think
I
so.
think that's a grand
Is she from
uncle to
Canada?
nephew kind of
No.
experience.
Is she
Canadians
still
aren't,
around? Are
aren't
you guys
like that.
close?
She would like
If you called her and
pervasively.
asked about the pizza vagina, would she remember?
I don't think I even have her number.
Don't call her right now. I'm just wondering.
He's
No,
like,
I
he
don't have
calls,
her
She's
number.
not a
he calls
cousin.
us
Well,
like,
I might have her number.
you call a number and it's like Domino's.
No.
They're like, I'm looking for my cousin. Yeah, she don't. This is Domino's Pizza.
See, my
Oh,
friend who was
ironic.
with me, we don't talk anymore either. So like,
It was Stevie.
no,
Wait, what's his name? That's not Stevie.
it was my friend Devin. He was there. My friend Devin, check this out. He could suck air in his asshole and then fart it back out, and it was the best friend you
Wait,
could have.
so he could fart at will.
He
Basically.
could inhale.
How did he learn
Air.
to do that?
That is a great question. I have
And
no
you were like,
idea.
I want to be your friend because you have such cool talents.
That is a talent I'm not.
Is that how you
impressed
met
with.
him when he was
Okay.
doing the fart trick?
I don't know. I don't.
How do you
I don't
see
know.
this? You have to see an anus in operation to believe this.
No, you could like hear
You
it.
just
It'd be
hear,
like,
you just like,
and then he'd be like, and we'd be like, ah! We'd be like, Devin, do it, Devin, do it.
Oh
So
my
one
God.
time I was like, Devin, what
he's
if you
had
could
he's had to have an accident. He had to like have shit
Probably.
himself at least
I was-
once. You know, it's
I was
like
like,
like
Devin.
near death at David Blaine, like, oh, almost died. Like he's almost shit himself at least once.
I don't think I ever thought of that, but listen to this. One time I was like, Devin, what if you sucked in enough air that you burped?
Oh my
And so he tried it and he was like, oh, 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 oh.
I got
You'll
I
kill
got
him.
I got a shit now.
That doesn't even right. Like, how do you do that? I mean, how do you learn to do that? That's so stupid.
Anybody watching this should try to suck air through their butthole
They should
because
not.
Probably
They
gonna
might
be a
get
while.
injured. You don't even know the
It's gonna be
precautionary.
a while until I eat pizza. I'm gonna put that out there. You know, I really love
Ah.
pizza. But it's gonna be
That's
a
what
while.
I was
Hold
gonna
it
have
in
for dinner. Now I'm feeling sick. I'm not
That
gonna
was like, first thing she's gonna do is fold up pizza. and
eat.
look.
I'm not. I'm either gonna not eat it or I'm gonna eat it as flat
She's
as
gonna
it
be
can
like,
be.
she'll be like, pussy.
Yeah, don't
I'm
eat
not
it.
doing that.
Fold that pussy and eat it.
Don't do it.
No, he just
Oh my
ruined the
God.
good. He just ruined the good food.
He ain't ruined it for me.
Ah.
I tell you
I
what,
don't fold my pizza, so I should be fine. But
Yeah, you be all right.
You know,
if I did, I'd
ruin.
feel worse.
Let me see.
All right.
What would ruin that?
All right, you ready for this? I got a question.
All right.
You both have to answer it.
Hannah has to answer first, though.
All right, Hannah's got to go
Boom.
first.
I don't know.
All right.
I might need more time.
She always need more time.
I'm writing a fiction book, all right? And this book, I don't think Anton and I have ever talked about it. So this has a lot to do with this book, but I'm just curious. I'm taking a survey.
Okay.
If you had a camera, you know, like the old cameras that were just
Yeah.
a camera, digital camera, and you were going to
Like
take
a point and shoot.
digital camera, point and shoot, not a DSLR, like a normal camera.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say that I'm looking out my window. I could set it to 5 million years ago. So I could be like, and then I take the picture. And then I look at the picture. I could see what it looked like
Oh,
5 million years ago.
that's a dope concept.
Okay. What is the first thing you would take a picture of?
I would take a picture of. Damn, Hannah has to go first.
She already
I mean,
knows.
I already know my answer.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? All right. What do you got?
But wait. But you have to be there.
Yeah. So I thought immediately as close as I could as like the Grand Canyon, because I know it would look the exact same, and I think that would be fascinating. it might look the exact same. Like, how long has the Grand Canyon looked that way?
Well, we could Google that.
You
What
know,
they know about
it's
that.
probably about 5 million years old.
Hannah, your
Give or
turn.
take
Oh,
six,
man.
6 or 5, 6,000 or 5 million years old. Give or take whatever religion you believe in. And then, let me see, or like some cities are like pretty cool, right? Like I love
5 to 6
see,
million years ago. You're right.
yeah.
That's
exactly.
when it began. That's when the Colorado River
Yeah.
began cutting the
Yeah.
channel
Wait,
through the layers of the rock.
anytime in the past
So you get to see
world of
erosion, dude. Like
So
volcanic
you're close to
erosion.
that. So you'd go there. I gotta
Yeah.
tell you what my family said. But go ahead, Hannah, you
Yeah.
first.
I don't. Ooh, this is hard. See, like
I already
you
know
want
the
to pick
next thing I
something
would
that was a
do.
long time ago. You didn't, but something that was like a lot different. I would think. Like
Yeah,
that it was just nothing.
Next thing I would do is like I would look at continents, like tectonic plates, or like places that are like that could fit. You know how like this can fit right under Africa, and then we get Pangea. Like I would look at like a aerial view of the planet and
You'd have
try
to get
see.
there.
I mean, from like satellite, whatever.
No,
you know,
no, but based
homie
on
from
if
Red
you
Bull
knew
jumped from space.
if you knew more about the storyline, you would know that would be more. But what? All right. Anyway, so okay, so
All right.
Hannah, you got to answer. Hannah, you can't get off with this.
I know. I'm
It
not
doesn't have to
trying
be
to
anything spectacular,
You can go to any timeline at any timeline,
but you can only take a picture of where you are at almost any timeline.
or like Washington Monument when the
Wait,
Million
what
Man
do you
March
mean where you are?
at the speech.
Okay, so let me tell you about
You
my
have to
sister.
wait. You have to physically be able to go there. You're saying
You can't like
you can't be like Mars. You know, like
no, right. Like if you wanted to take a picture of like a Colorado mountain, you couldn't be in Texas.
oh,
You have
so
to
it
take
has to be
you have to
local.
your body has to be there.
Okay,
So you
well,
can go
I was,
drive there or
so
whatever.
I was pretty accurate with mine.
Yeah, you're close. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I
said you
have
would
to
just
be
drive.
close to drive to there, but I could drive anywhere.
Sure, drive, fly, whatever. What's the first thing you would do? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Mm.
All right. So let me tell you.
I feel
my
like I would
sisters.
go to like the ocean or something.
Yeah, that'd
Where?
be a good one.
And see what if the ocean was still there.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't know. Was the ocean there? Did it look different? Is it the same? Maybe the ocean's the same. I don't think it's the same.
I'm pretty sure it was there.
It might have been there, but it's probably. You don't know. I didn't pick a date. You have no idea.
All right, you're horrible at answering questions.
I know.
I would look at the prairie lands of Illinois, the marsh prairie lands of Illinois. I would like to see like.
Yeah, but
like
they would
the
look
prairie-
the
like the
same
grass.
as they do today.
Oh, I
right.
mean, it's a lot of cornfield and stuff.
All right, here's
like,
what my dad said. My dad
Yeah.
said, I would take a nap.
like he would take a photo of a nap.
No, he's just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I would take a
Wow.
nap. Like, I
When
would.
you
Like,
write
I'm
that
just
book, do not send it to your dad. He's not going to support that.
He like, I'm
Okay.
asleep.
All right, listen.
Why is his
So
default nap? He works that hard.
He's tired. He's
That
exhausted.
man is forever exhausted. Somebody
works
who
a lot.
can't catch up on sleep.
All right, what the
was
rest of
like-
the family say?
All right, my
It's gonna-
sister says, Jesus. And
You
I
take a
said,
picture of Jesus?
and I said, Renata, I said you have to be there. And
So
I
she
said,
has
what
to
are
go
you
to
gonna
like
do?
Jerusalem.
Right. And I
She has to
said,
go to Jerusalem?
and then you have to know the exact moment you're trying to take the picture.
She's not going to
And
know what
she's-
Jesus looks like.
Listen, that's what she wants to know what Jesus looks like. She's like, she wants to know
So
what he
she's
looks
going to
like.
ask people, where's
No, but
Jesus?
stop. It's
Okay.
so much funnier than that. It's so much funnier than that.
Well, you
because
can go to like the mount where he was like crucified in the city. You know, you could historically find
When?
that place.
When?
You could go.
Roughly
the day he was
2,000
crucified,
years
you could
ago.
wait till he was on
Right,
the
you
cross.
can
and then
keep
you would know
taking
it's him.
pictures
Roughly-
every day for how many?
Yeah, roughly 2,000 years ago. 2,000,
Okay.
less than 2,000.
Okay.
All right.
What else did she say?
Then that's when I said, when, how you're gonna. Okay, so
I
you're gonna
would-
fly to.
I would go to a historic moment, like somewhere like, you know,
All right,
Caesar or something that we have more
let me get this
accurate.
out.
Yeah,
Let me
go
get
ahead.
this
Aunt
out.
got 8 answers.
Yeah.
Let me
You
get this
gotta.
out. My
a
sister
good superpower.
says, she's like, oh, well, yeah, I'd go to Jerusalem. And I'm like, okay, but when? When would you take the picture from? How would you find out, like, when Jesus was there? Like, think
like,
about like if you're just trying to find
33.
one car or one horse or whatever, right? No. So then she says, "I'll just look in the Bible," and I said, "Renata, there's not dates in the Bible." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, in the beginning,
It's
it's
just the
quite vague.
BC.
In the beginning, it's a very vague timeline.
Yeah, and she's like, "Isn't it like a diary or a journal or a diary?" I'm like, "Renata," I'm like, "What are you saying? What are you saying right now?"
That's the reason you have a lot of fundamentalists on the planet. That
True. So
they
then
don't
my
read the
sister,
Bible.
listen, so then my sister says, "Okay, I'd go to the grassy knoll." And I'm like, "You would go there?" She's like, "Yeah, I'd go to Washington, D.C." I said, "Renata, the grassy knoll's in Dallas, Texas." And I said,
Send her back to school.
and
Send
she
her
goes,
back.
"Oh, but the funny thing is, so part of the idea of the funniest thing she said though was, because I get everybody makes a mistake. Who knows when John F. Kennedy was actually killed? You know, she wanted to go see.
Ooh,
it.
that would be a good one.
That's what she meant. The grassy knoll. She wants to go see like
Yeah.
who killed Kennedy, basically. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, but you know, you have to or since she said to me, because so the idea is that the only time that you could take these pictures is when the moon is up. And she said, well, what if it's so it's always dark? I said, Renata, the moon is up when it's light sometimes. And she said, well, I'm not an astronomer. I was
you know what?
dying.
You know what's fascinating about that concept is like they have photographs of like right after JFK got popped. You know, it was people there were obviously it was a parade or something, you know, it was a reason like president's here, we got to take pictures. And then you just fucking probably just like think about the camera back in the day, or like when Martin Luther King got shot at that, you know, what was he at in Tennessee or something like that, some hotel, and then like standing over him, you know, like less than 5 minutes later, like people had photographs. It's insane to think about. Yeah, but it seems like a difficult question. What'd you pick, Hannah? Hannah didn't answer.
I accidentally put her on mute for a second.
Yeah, she got a scrapey dog.
Yeah, it's all right. I can edit the audio out, but it's easier if she just mutes it.
So you think that my answer was decent? I think the Grand Canyon.
It's
just
not
looking
bad.
at that.
All right.
Because I want to see like.
All right.
I hope that there's volcanic eruption. I hope that there's like, you know, I want to go back to where it's not breathable for humans yet.
All right.
You know, and see how.
I don't know about that. All right. So check this out though. Okay. So how long, if we had access to the first version is going to be this picture thing. Then we're going to get the video version where then you can take video of where you are, right? All right. So how long before the world gets crazy and people start to, you know, people basically start to riot and shit? How long? How long?
Like in current time or connected to that issue? What are you talking about now?
Imagine
like
if
with the upcoming election. Okay,
imagine if, well, my book is set 3 years from now, but but only because I just
who's president? Is Kamala Harris president because Biden died?
I don't know. I think that Trump's gonna get elected again. So
you think? See, the thing was.
Yeah. So
I think that is not, because we were really sure that he was, and we're not so sure now. And it's like the fact. It's like the fact. Listen, I had a mathematician from Tufts University explain to me that it was mathematically implausible for him to become president, and he did. And I was like, "You don't understand corruption, my man."
You don't understand. There's an awful lot of people that were like, "Oh no, I would never vote him."
It's like electoral college don't understand math. Math times racism equals Trump became president.
You'll love this. You'll love this. My dad just texted me and he said, when the first boat of immigrants came. That's what he said.
So like the Pilgrims or Chinese explorers or?
I don't know. I didn't ask him, but he just texted because I asked him yesterday. He said, I'll take a nap. And then he said, I want to be there when the first baseball game was playing. And then he said, and then his last text said, when I came up with the first taco.
Your dad invented the taco.
Apparently.
There he did it.
You'd be like, if he invented the taco, which is closely related to the pizza pussy. You have to ask him about that.
Is a taco
Those are closely related.
also
Is a
closely
taco? Yeah.
resemble a vagina?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. So, but anyways, so all right. So how long before, if we have if we have access to seeing past events via video or picture and then video, how long before people start rioting?
So you say this with the assumption that we don't know the truth behind every event that we've seen or that we have
Sure, of
information
course we
about.
don't.
So for example, like there were riots when Abraham Lincoln was killed. They called that motherfucker John Wilkes Booth. They shot that motherfucker down. They couldn't even get a warrant. They homeboy. Same thing with Joseph Smith, who created like the Book of Mormon and all that stuff.
Mm.
There have been riots, and I think more so back in the day there was less laws, and we didn't have like National Guard set up in the way. We couldn't mobilize our military fast enough to stop these things. And now that you could roll tanks into town, baby, like you could fly them in. You could fly in some heavy artillery.
Okay, so but listen,
I think that
this.
people, hold on, I'm gonna answer that. I think that it's not that people would riot past events. We don't hold that much emotion to a past
You're
event.
sure?
It had to be like, all right, if I saw.
Listen, no,
that,
you know how wrong you are right now? You're so wrong because
okay.
people are literally rioting right now about past events.
We're rioting about the culmination of past events. This is it. Look, this is like the pot runneth over kind of thing. So it's not necessarily about the past, but it's also not necessarily about George Floyd, an example. It's about everything. It's like, you know what? I'm fed the fuck up about it.
Okay, yeah, but you don't think if people start circulating images of slaves that they're not going to be like, look at what you did, motherfucker, like,
Oh, so you're saying a revelation of past truths would cause people to erupt in violence or riot. I don't think all riots.
Whatever.
Does it have to be violence to be a riot? If it's not violence, a protest?
Okay, protest. Okay, so
because
protest.
you make the assumption that people would be violent. So
they're going to be violent. They're violent right now,
be.
and they're violent in some of the most progressive places on the planet.
What's wrong with
some
that?
You know what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it is that, like a place like Portland, you have one of the most progressive mayors ever in the history of progressiveness and mayors.
And that's why they have the ability to protest in the way that they do, because of
everybody has the ability to protest in America.
Yeah, but in some place, Texas,
they
shutting that shit down. Where they gonna shoot you at?
I don't know that that's a fact. But look at what happened in Seattle. What happened in that? What's that place called? Chaco or Chalice?
Yeah.
That place they took over for 6 weeks?
Yeah.
That's one of the most progressive places, and one of the most beautiful places too, but one of the most progressive places on earth. And this is where, and how much, nobody died and nobody, there wasn't evidence of police brutality there.
No,
it was
what
elsewhere.
You don't understand is like, they have the ability to see the whole picture. For example, the people in progressive places. I'll give you an example. I used to question why my family would stay in a certain place in Chicago. Like, why would you live in this downtrodden community? And then I would question, why would I have family living in places like Arkansas or Georgia, the deep South? Like, why would any Black person still be there after the Great Migration?
Okay.
And it's still a conundrum to me. And I think the point is that in these places in which they have these restrictions, they don't get to see the whole picture. When you can control like the media or the internet or the local news, you don't show the outside world so much. And so because you're not used to seeing that, you don't have people who can articulate enough like empathy to look elsewhere and care about the nation.
But is your argument that Portland has more access to the news? What do you say?
No, my argument is that Portland cares about things outside of Portland. And they have the ability to care more of things outside of Portland because they're so progressive. You ever been to like the hipster parts of Chicago and they're like, ICE is doing this? I was at a Starbucks and I was walking with my white friend and I was like, yo, I just see cop cars. My hair stood up. I got my spidey senses. And I was like, yo, hold my hand. You're my girlfriend now. And I hold hand. I was like, I don't know if this is more dangerous or not, but I'm gonna try it. And so we walk into Starbucks, and then some people come in. They're like, and I have a video I can send you. They were like, oh, in Chicago, I forget exactly where it is, where Loyola College University is. It was like there are police are holding people, kids, babies, women, and children. ICE are detaining these people in prisons and unlawfully and da 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 da, and they like yelled it out. I was like, that should have never happened on the south side of Chicago.
No,
the north side cares about these things that are outside. They're not most people, I think, in poor or more less educated, less opportunity, you become an isolationist because your world becomes so small.
Maybe. Or you might just give a fuck about your shit, and like
Yeah,
when you have your own problems and like you're dealing with
your
own life,
personal problems outweigh.
Yeah, but right.
It's
So
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The last portion is like that actualization of self-awareness. Like you're aware of who you are and the world around you. But first, if you don't have your four walls, your physiological needs, you don't have enough food, water, shelter, security, I can't give a fuck about all that other shit.
The question is, what does protesting in Portland going to do for anything that is the cause?
That's a good question. I don't know, but I know the ability to protest with, like, in some progressive places, like let's take LA, which is used to be not what it is today. LA is super progressive today.
Okay.
And Portland is definitely, I would say, more so in some places, but they have the ability to exercise those rights more freely because they're not mentally discouraged, from the place in which they live. It's like, oh, that's Jimbo. It's like in the South, it's an old racist white man. It's like, oh yeah, that's my granddad. He's just like that.
Yeah.
Like, no, that shit is not okay in some places,
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I've been in Chicago and like affluent places where people have spoken up for me. Like, you gonna let him talk to you like that? This is Whole Foods. Like,
it's probably Whole Foods or Lululemon.
Yo, wow.
Okay. All right. So
I think it has to do with socioeconomic status. I would survey the people who are protesting in Portland versus the amount of violence they receive compared to the people in, let's say, Kansas or Breonna Taylor, whatever, or Minneapolis, right? And then the amount of minorities, I don't know black people live in Portland like that.
Right. It's in Portland. It's a bunch of white kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all white kids, but
listen, white people protested Vietnam just like black people.
All right, that's true.
They just didn't get their ass whooped for it. They were like they became hippies. That's where the term hippie came from, and stoners. And
so
marijuana.
We've been here before in the 60s.
Yeah, take a picture. Brought it back.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I think it's your ability.
How did we get on this topic?
Were you talking about?
I think it was you, but
riots?
I'm not gonna point fingers.
Said, would there, yeah.
Oh,
you said, would there be riots if you see a photo of, like, the time when Martin Luther King was assassinated?
Sure. Yeah. If there was video of it,
I say it depends.
How long? Okay, think about this. All right, check this out. Let's take it a step further. Let's say that, think about this. How long do you think it would take for the government to step in and stop people from using it? This device.
Okay.
Think about how many
immediately.
people.
We've never created a technology that we haven't weaponized, and we never created a technology that the government hasn't exploited for personal gain to control society. The internet.
Yeah, true.
Social media. You think that all of the major social media players and the big giant tech companies are going to Congress to have these meetings and being grilled? They grilling Mark Zuckerberg with his 10 lawyers behind him because they're talking about, like, this is called promo, or like you got to do this, like public
pro bono,
public relations. No, it's called public relations. Public relations, where you have to be
That's
like,
a good one.
so, Mr. Zuckerberg, bad man. When you released all that information of those people to us, Come on, we've
But
never
how
created the
long?
technology.
How long? I need
Oh,
to know this for my
immediately.
storyline.
Immediately. The
Don't you
government will.
think
The
about
government will
this.
A
kick
couple
in your
days.
Check it out.
Couple
door.
days. I said
Right.
In
2
your
days.
door.
Check it out.
The
So let's
weekend.
say that where was the weekend? Where was Martin Luther King assassinated? Atlanta? No.
No. He was in. It was in
Chicago?
the. No, it was
No.
He had just come back from like Michigan for like a sanitation workers thing, and he was speaking in, I believe, Tennessee. It's somewhere near where what's the dude who gyrated his hips?
Oh yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah, somewhere near where Elvis
Memphis,
lives.
Tennessee. Yeah.
Memphis, yeah.
I
He's
should
from
know.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis.
I've been there and I have that and I didn't.
I've never
I should
never
have
been
known
to
that.
Memphis. Never been. I
Okay.
want to go to that whole
All
time.
right. So let's say this. How long? All right. So also part of this is going to be that you can't share the shit, because part of my storyline is that like you can only save it, but if you went to like post it on social media, I don't think that I'm gonna think that part of my storyline is that they can do that somehow.
I think it should erase. It shouldn't be postable. It should delete because
It's right.
So
You
you
know what I
look
mean?
at it and then it's gone.
Correct.
it's like it doesn't belong to your timeline, so it doesn't belong here,
doesn't belong to you.
and so
right.
you don't get to have it outside
True.
of just the experience of it.
So
yeah,
then
or
you
just
wouldn't
your
get shut down because no one would ever see what you see.
But think about this. Don't you think that they would like block the area so you cannot be here and you can't film and try to take pictures of this?
Of
Oh, but
what
Think about how many
specifically?
people. Well,
What
anything
specifically?
like, okay, let's say his assassination. Let's say it happened when the moon was up. You
Right.
know?
So you're saying that the
So how are they
government's
gonna block
ability
that?
to know, you can't block everybody. It's like
You-
the mobile phone is the greatest like feature against, corruption and injustice. It's like boom, I could be like, I'm about to get my ass whooped. I'm going live. Here you go, police. I seen a video of a guy like, I'm putting my phone here, officer. Can I help you while you pulled over? And the motherfucker was like, that's it, buddy. Snatch his ass out the car, and you hear him whoop his ass in the background. And it's like, without that phone, like think about 50 years ago. Police
Yeah.
got to whoop your ass and nobody knew.
Okay. Yes. And so now they know. So you're saying that, but
But they
there's no
can't.
way
You
they
can't
won't even.
patrol. You can't patrol that. You can't enforce
Okay, but they might try.
every.
They
every
Or they might
try.
say,
citizen.
or they
But
would
what-
say this. What if the guy my intention is so that this person releases this technology and doesn't get permission from anyone. He just does it, and like for self gain and profit, etc.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So then they're gonna be like, we don't want this technology. Like I think that they're gonna want to block it, like very quickly. Like you can't use this. You know,
So does
because
it need the internet? Because that's a plot twist. You have to
No.
shut down the internet to shut down this technology.
no.
It
No,
needs
'cause
the
you
moon.
It needs the moon.
Yeah.
Moon
I
power.
already read the book.
Werewolf technology.
Huh?
Say werewolf technology, huh?
I don't want to get too much into it because some arbitrary person might listen to my ideas and then
Oh my
write the
God,
book before
nobody.
me.
Nobody's gonna do that.
Yeah, that's true. We don't want to ruin it for you.
All right. Anyway.
So I
let's
think
talk-
they'll try to shut it down, but I don't know that they can because, I mean,
You think they're gonna let people go and take pictures of the Kennedy assassination?
why
I mean,
not?
maybe not out in the open. What if you're in the
Why
bush or
not?
something, you know?
I think they'd shut that whole area
If
down.
you're only
1,000 people
taking
would
a-
be there.
No way. You wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to do that. How could the government anticipate where people are gonna go?
All right. You don't think that riots would happen?
They didn't
or
know that he
protests?
was going to get
No.
assassinated. Nobody knew until he got assassinated.
I think you have to have a
Besides the
connection.
assassinator.
You have to have a deeper connection with an event, and as generations go on, you lose that connection because it didn't happen to you. You know,
So how long?
maybe 2 or 3 generations it takes.
No, I'm saying how long before people will get pissed off. Okay, also think about this. Think of how messed up this is. You can literally, someone brought this up. They were like, if you can take pictures of like past and when you just like watch somebody go to an ATM, wait till they leave, and then go take the picture 10 seconds ago,
And
then
get $300? Whack idea.
ah,
The limit on ATMs, 500 at some ATMs. I think you need to watch. It's an anime called Death Note that I'm recently getting into.
Oh God.
It's a really good one.
What did he
it
say?
takes place anime.
He said
Called
anime.
Death Note. It's basically this kid finds this book, and it's from this god of death. You know, there are several different gods of death, and in the book, if you write somebody's name within 40 seconds, they'll die of a heart attack, right? But if you write somebody's name and you write the cause of death within 6 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that, after writing the name, they'll die exactly the way that you wrote it, right? But if you use the death note, there's some, repercussions for using it. So one of them is that when you die, you don't go to heaven or hell. The God of death is with you, guiding you. He's waiting for you to finish using it. Once you finish using it, he stays with you until you die. So for example, the thing is that you have to create rules within your fictional world. Even though it's your world, it can't be unlimited. So you have to put the caveats of like me saying, what about this? You had to already think of that rule for the most part.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I'm also talking about this. Okay, so part of it is that
what is a superpower of a photo, and what's an obvious power that you could shut down that everybody's gonna say? I think your caveat with the moon, Hannah said something about the moon. So meaning that like maybe if the moon is out, you get a super boost from it. Like if you take the photo on the day of a full moon, whether it's night or day, you get to go back to that scene and live it for a short period of time. You get an hour. So you took a picture of a site where President Kennedy was killed on the day of a full moon, and then boom, you're fucking transported there, and you get an hour pre that.
Not
that
too much.
scene.
That's not how it happens.
That's kind of dope.
It is dope. Write your own book.
Yeah.
You don't want you to use his ideas though, so you gotta do something different.
Like Maze Runner, you got to put up, because I love, this sounds like cyberpunk sci-fi in a way. Like it depends on, is it a post-apocalyptic world or something like that? All right, well, I like cyberpunk.
Not yet, but I think part of okay, so the setting of so it wasn't until I went on the trip last summer that I realized the setting. So wouldn't that be funny if this kid one day contacts me? I met this kid. Where were we, Hannah?
Yellowstone.
Yosemite?
No, Yellowstone.
We're at Yellowstone.
Which you said was whack, right?
And it was not good. And we're sitting. I think it was Yosemite's great. Okay. And so I'm sitting. You're not that far actually from there, but anyways.
No, I want to go.
Okay, so I'm standing in line waiting to get a tent site because it's like first come first serve. And so we're there from like 4 a.m, and he got there like 4:30, and he had a van. And this kid was like, "Oh yeah, what you doing? Oh, this is what I'm doing. Oh, cool, yeah." He's like this redhead kid, like kind of dorky, nice kid. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I was in school, but I'm not doing that anymore. Like me and my girlfriend decided to just take this road trip." And I was like, and I never met the girl. And
no, it was a guy.
Yeah.
No, it was like 2 guys.
Okay, it was.
I think you met a girl. There was 2 guys in that van.
Oh, no.
You changed him to a girl. It's okay.
Anyways, so whatever. So I met this kid, and I was like, "Oh, you're my main character, and you're gonna start this thing off, basically." And so, like,
you told him that?
No.
Oh.
I figured it out later. Anyways, so they go and they drop out of school in the spring, and they're like going on a road trip. They turn off their phones and everything, and then while
drop out of college, right?
Correct, college, yeah. And while they're gone, shit starts getting squirrely. So they're driving around the country, staying, a couple days here, a week here, whatever. And then things get squirrely in the world because of this technology. So when the book starts, they put on a whole headset and they're like, take me to this time. And then they're like in this, they can look around and it's like flowing at the moment. Yeah, it's virtual. Yeah. So they're like in it kind of, they're able to see everything. And they're traveling the country and they're like driving on the road. They put it on and they like look back and they see like old cars and stuff. That's how the scenes start. And then they have their own shit happening. But what happened was her dad, okay, so I wrote a story in high school about a car accident happening, and the family got in an accident, the kid got kidnapped. So I tied it into this story. So then the dad, once the dad gets Moonview, he's like, shit. The whole family gets jacked up because the dad goes back to the scene to try and find out where the guy went, and they never found the brother. So like he goes back to the time when the kid was kidnapped, and he's like looking and trying to follow the guy, and he's like sleeping in his car trying to figure out where this guy came from, where he went, where he took his kid. So that's like in the past. That, and her dad, like the family got fucked up, and she's like, fuck this, I'm going on a road trip. Like, I can't deal with your guys' stress. Like, you know what I mean? Because it would be stressful. So that's the way the dad uses Moonview. Anyways.
Oh, Moonview. You're giving me more information.
See, I know, I can't.
Yeah, you're doing too much because
I don't mind
gonna write the version that he wants.
The better version.
I don't mind Anton, but you know, this stuff's going out in the public forever.
Yeah,
maybe it's better to have it public.
Itch it out.
Yeah, you should write it publicly as blog posts, and it comes together, and then you just have somebody edit it together as a book. It's still yours, so if somebody uses it without your permission, you know, you just
they finna get sued.
Yeah, but nobody's
gotta get the website.
The worst thing you can think of is somebody's gonna steal your idea. It's like nobody's stealing your idea unless you're like Elon Musk. You know, you got to be on that level, like worth that. Like most ideas aren't worth stealing. Not to say this isn't a good idea. I'm just saying that you would actually benefit by putting it out there and getting free people's opinion.
Yeah, he's taking it down. I don't know if it's Stanford or not.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you get some more opinions and people would say, hey, you should write it like this. And people can help you with the story. People can help you build this, and you don't even have to do all the work.
All right, well, that could be your story. But I really just want to know.
He doesn't want people to help him. He is his own self. He is better than other people.
He fixed that hole in the wall. He never really told us that, if he did or not. But
he looked great.
He doesn't even know what book he read. I want to know.
All right, that's it, though. We got to go.
The hole in the wall. The hole in the wall becomes part of the story.
Hannah's got to do her current events. We got to close this thing out.
Yeah.
Hannah,
you talk about Twitter to read before you retweet?
What?
Oh man.
Oh! I thought that was yours. I thought you were gonna talk about it.
I you don't understand. I throw you bones, man. I'm like, hey, you know, here you go. This would be something.
I thought you were telling us what you were gonna talk about. I didn't know you were giving it
I think
to me.
it's kind of supporting the fake news and misinformation, you know, spiel that I had last time. It was like, before you spread something, Twitter did an experiment. Like, hey, before you retweet this, you haven't even clicked the article yet. So it was like, Trump says, you know, fuck you. And it's like, you haven't even read the article yet. You should probably read this first. And they said 40% of the people have actually clicked the links before they retweeted it. And then, you know, some people have chosen not to. So it's helping. What I said was like, how I had no idea how to stop the spread of misinformation. You can never stop.
Starts at the home.
It starts at home, right? So it starts with yourself. Check yourself before you retweet yourself.
Yeah, it's the same as when you send a text message. You should read it before you press
You should
send.
be like, you know what? Mike doesn't do that.
That sounds stupid. Delete.
Mike doesn't do that. He'd be like, fuck it. It's the truth. He said, look, you know somebody crazy if they send text like this. Bitch.
Then God's like, bitch, get off this bike.
Right,
Hannah, come on, go. What you got?
Well, I just didn't have anything good, man.
Did you hear? I got one. I heard about it. Did you hear the Jesus in Russia got arrested? The cult leader. Yeah, Jesus has been in Russia this whole time.
No, I didn't hear about that. What happened? What did he do?
He founded what is now the Church of the Last Testament, and in 1991. He looks kind of like Jesus. This is white.
Communist doesn't mess with religion.
Anyways, they got a picture of him. He's 59 now, and he's got security all around him. He's in some helicopter, and they got got guns around him. Yikes!
Sounds like that Nigerian scammer, the Nigerian prince scammer. He just got caught this year too. He was in Dubai. They said they collected like 6.7 million worth of cars and luxury this and cash on them. Just crazy.
You got any track updates in it?
They're not really track, but they're running. Next week we're talking about the London Marathon because that's on Sunday.
Oh, you're watching it this Sunday?
I got to get up at 1:15 to watch it.
Who's playing it?
Okay, it's gonna be the best. The two fastest marathoners in the world are going head to head.
No, I mean, what's the, how are you watching it? Like,
Oh,
what's
NBC Gold.
What's his
Forgot
name?
the app.
Euclid, Kipclid, ain't he
Kipchoge?
suspended?
Kipchoge and the other guy.
I thought he was suspended.
No, not him.
He
And
just
then
can't
the
wear the
world
shoes.
record holder in the women's race is running.
Who's that?
And they running Bridget. She did it at the Chicago Marathon last year.
Mm.
Bridget something from Kenya.
Okay.
And
Americans running?
there is 4 Americans running. Sarah Hall,
There are.
Lindsay Flanagan, Molly Siddell, and Jared Ward. And they're running a 1.3 mile loop 20 times.
Shoot.
Why?
Because they have to regulate the crowd. Like there's no spectators. So if they run through the streets of London, there's going to be people. So they run around this park. Right now, they're staying in an athlete-only hotel. There's 90 people in this race. And it's on 40 acres, so they're training on the grounds of this hotel.
That's pretty cool.
All week.
Where
they got like 39
London?
men, 29 women, and 30 wheelchair people.
In London.
In London.
In London.
In the park.
You know how big the wheelchair people arms be? I see like a wheelchair racing. Huge arms.
Yes. I was wondering how they're going to do it. They're going to run the women, and they're going to finish, and then they're going to run the men. And then they're going to finish, and then they're going to run the wheelchair people.
Yeah.
They give them like 3 hours to finish, and then they start the next race. Because otherwise, there's going to be people lapping people. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah.
They're already going to be a little of that, but not a lot.
What other like unique things that are different from a normal marathon, like restrictions because of COVID, obviously?
They all got to get the COVID test at the hotel.
You get kicked out. You get kicked out the race. You get disqualified if you get COVID.
Oh, for sure.
Usually, I'm sure.
I watched the UFC.
They got Mo Farrell's pacing them.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. I just read that today. I didn't know that.
I bought the UFC last night, the pay-per-view, or Saturday night, the pay-per-view is my first one buying.
Yeah.
You ever watch UFC?
Yeah, I watch UFC at bars.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been getting into it lately.
It's good.
I blame Joe Rogan. Adesanya versus Costa. Look up Costa's body. This dude is like an Adonis. I got a man crush, I think.
Striking too. He's good at striking. Yeah.
He lost. Adesanya beat him.
Yeah.
Adesanya, he's got swagger.
Is that a limp or a swagger walk?
Is that a limp walk or a swag walk? They'd be like, Coach, come on, Coach, it's a swag walk. Whatever.
You know the origins of the word swag?
No.
Secretly, we are gay.
That's a retroactive.
Kind of ruined it for you, didn't it? No. Swagger like us.
No, that ain't
Nobody on the planet got swagger like us.
Listen, I don't have any problem with gay people. Are you trying to say something, Anton?
No, this is gonna get hot. We are not allowed to touch on this heated subject.
What's wrong? Gay? I don't think gay is controversial. I think it's
only.
He was about to get mad at you for you be getting mad at him. What'd you say?
Only folded vagina pussy.
Folded pizza pussy. Now we're gonna have to sell a T-shirt. It's like a hand with a
we should not sell a T-shirt.
Anton, you're in charge of our merchandise for this.
Deal. I'm gonna draw this pizza pussy.
No, I don't think you should be the one to draw it.
The goofiest shirt. We got to bring it up again. It's got to be a gag. Yelling at the mic. All right, Hannah. No, we got to do better updates next week, Hannah. We ain't gonna stand for this.
I'm sorry.
You got to be prepared. You got to come with it. Look, hey, there was a triathlete who was like from Spain who let the British guy go past because he took a wrong turn.
Didn't we already talk about that?
I don't know.
I did see that. That was cool.
I think the marathon is really cool.
Wait a minute.
To watch.
Have you heard about the Elite Only Marathon in December? It's going to be in Arizona. Is it by you?
It would probably likely be. Where in Arizona? Do you know?
Well,
are they going to be in the boonies somewhere?
I don't remember.
We can't say Mike's last name, but you can give out my location.
I didn't give it out. I said, "Are you near this place in Arizona that I don't know?"
She's like,
So
drop
literally,
a pin. I'm kidding.
you
with
could be in
right
any
now.
of the surrounding states.
I could bleep it out. Bleep.
Yeah, just get rid of that part. Cause sorry,
If Hannah writes down my address, I'm safe.
I'll send you.
She's gonna dox you.
She caught that one. That went over Mike's head.
What'd you do? What you mean?
What did he say?
I said, if Hannah writes down my address, I'm safe.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wait, why'd you say that?
Your handwriting. Your
Aw.
penmanship.
That was mean. I'll be addressing envelopes and they begin to the owner, so I don't think so.
They send it back like, type this shit. It's why they make labels.
I do need some of those.
I almost put my address on here. I gotta delete that.
Your grandma said,
what are you doing? You're acting crazy.
Look, no, they're gonna be able to take the address off. Like some super nerd genius.
No, don't do it. Whatever you're about to do.
All right, yeah, cool. All right.
You'll regret it.
Beautifully Twisted Podcast. Oh wait, Anti, you gotta go. It's your turn.
Beautifully Twisted Podcast, and we out.